Hello, this is Group 4, New Zealand's Digital Forensic Expert Testimony. This presentation will review the tools used throughout all of the projects, the summary of the 3 projects, including the scenario and the deliverables that were completed, and other questions about the incidents that need answered. There were many tools used throughout the projects. These tools include IP2Nation, Alien Vault, SCAP Workbench, Nessus, Snort, Wireshark, CryptTool, Offcrack, and RSecret. In Project 1, the Information Security Branch of the New Zealand government was invited to the Five Eyes Global Economic Summit in the United Kingdom. The team was put in charge of creating a secure communication network. This network would be specifically for New Zealand. Other nations would be creating their own. Even though everyone is allies at Five Eye, other nations have been known to spy on other members. So security of the communication program is quite important. Anomalous activity has already been detected. As of now, it's not certain if it's relevant to the summit, but will need to be investigated. Final deliverable for this project is the Cyber Security Policy and Baseline Analysis Report. This is a culmination of all the objectives in Project 1. This report can be broken down into 3 main sections: Cyber Policy Report, Security Baseline Report, and the Forensic Analysis Report. The Cyber Policy Report gives an overview of the managerial, technical, and regulatory positions of the Five Eye nations attending the summit and includes the Cyber Policy Matrix, Transnational Legal Compliance Report, and International Standards Report. The Cyber Policy Matrix is a spreadsheet that represents a matrix of New Zealand cyber policies and laws that the government has to address cyber security concerns. The Transnational Legal Compliance Report is an itemized appraisal of what laws and compliance requirements the Five Eye nations have in common. The International Standards Report determines which initiatives will result in cooperation from everyone in the Five Eye nations. Security Baseline Report analyzes the network, tools, threats, and vulnerabilities surrounding this event. The report comprises 3 reports: the Attribution Report, the Network Security Checklist, and the System Security Risk Vulnerability Assessment Report. The Attribution Report identifies the nation responsible for the anomalous network activity and discusses how this will impact international relations. The Network Security Checklist takes inventory of the network software and hardware components to ensure multi-level security. The System Security Vulnerability Report identifies threats to our nations and communication systems and discusses the impact of one of those vulnerabilities being exploited. The Forensic Analysis Report documents the e-discovery process, the findings, and how they are connected to the countries involved. The report included the chain of custody form and the environmental review and analysis. The chain of custody form is used to track all digital evidence associated with the investigation. The environmental review analysis assesses the legal, environmental, and security postures of the Five Eye nations. Hours before the summit was to begin, the intrusion detection system detected data exfiltration. It is likely that this pattern of network traffic could also result in buffer overflows and other attacks such as denial of service. Each nation's server is at risk. The point of origin appears to be internal. Someone at the summit appears to be responsible for this. Given the international repercussions of falsely accusing someone, it is important to still regard all nations as allies until concrete proof is found. Each nation is responsible for investigating what happened. Our nation's CISO would like to know what happened as well. Throughout the project, we will determine who the bad actor is and establish an incident response plan in case another incident occurs. The CISO final deliverable, which is named the Final Forensic Report, includes 4 sections: the Cybersecurity Risk Assessment, including Vulnerability Matrix, Incident Response Plan, Service Level Agreement, and 5i Indicator Sharing Report. The Cybersecurity Risk Assessment, including Vulnerability Matrix, includes discussions about different attack vectors, the motivations of hackers, and a vulnerability matrix. The Incident Response Plan provides a method for containing a security incident. It will take you through all the steps from identification to recovery. The Service Level Agreement for the nation was reviewed to see how this attack affects services. A report on what changes should be made to our service level agreements was produced. The 5i Indicator Sharing Report reviews what rules are in place to ensure only appropriate information is being with the Before the summit, each nation created its own communication network. Before the summit began, the network was attacked with a DOS attack. The next day, no one had access to any confidential summit data needed for the conference. All computer screens showed a message that says your computer has been involved in computer fraud activity and has been locked down by the FBI and the Justice Department. Unless you pay a sum of $500 in Bitcoin, you will be arrested immediately. You have 48 hours to pay up via email. An emergency meeting was then called by the CISO. The CISO then confirms the team's suspicions. The computers have been hit by ransomware called Reviton. The ransomware encrypts all your files, then demands money in Bitcoin in order to unlock the files. Members of the summit are conflicted on what to do, as some feel paying the ransom is worth it, while others do not agree. The CISO tasked our team with investigating this incident. The reports required track this incident from start to recovery. This information will then be used to debrief our nation's leaders. Using the Software Development Lifecycle Assessment and Software Development Matrix, the team developed a cyber operations and risk management briefings for our nation's CISO. This briefing consists of a written report and a video presentation. The intelligence debriefing reports all of the events that have occurred at the summit so far. It also discusses how to discover these attacks in the future. The lessons learned presentation discusses attacks, evidence acquired, attribution, impact, business recovery, and remediation success. It also discusses how the incident was contained and eradicated. The digital forensic investigation report outlines what was found during the investigation of the malware. The report found that based on the analysis of the cybersecurity incident, New Zealand's Nation Cybersecurity Center confirmed that the HR department system has been compromised by an attack using ransomware, thereby causing disruption to the organization's business continuity and breached sensitive information systems disclosing the confidential information. The servers and network devices connected to the organization's network lack security, therefore the entire network was attacked because of an employee's lack of awareness on a phishing email. While mobile data has made computing more convenient, cloud computing has created some unique problems for forensic investigators. A computer or mobile device can be located in one country, but the data they store on the cloud may be on a server in a different country. For example, Amazon stores data from customers in the European Union and its cloud servers in the Republic of Ireland. A local search warrant to search and seize evidence may not give the investigator the right to do the same with the evidence located in different jurisdictions, even though the evidence is accessible via the internet. This affected our investigation because some of the evidence required to be examined was located in a different country. So multiple warrants had to be acquired in order to research all of the evidence. In conclusion, it was certainly an eventful summit. Some of the lessons learned include we need to teach our employees about cybersecurity to make them less vulnerable to phishing attacks. And cybersecurity on the international stage can be difficult, especially when investigating cybersecurity incidents.